What is up, YouTube? It is Jesus here with the Vanbros, and today we are gonna repent. That's a joke. But we are gonna be doing the new deck that came out from the what's it called? DZBT 16. I swear to God, they announced 15, 16, and 17 so close to each other that I get these mixed up. But anyways, it is the new like Fallen Angel archetype from Skyride. So like if you ever wanted like a Fallen Angel type of deck in Vanguard, we finally have it. I know Caleb from 3 to Pass is super excited about this. So we have here Enlightening of Onset Shadow, Anlarcciæl, just a regular starter for Vanguard D standard. Then here we have the grade 1, which is another NNCL, but this is the Enlightenment of Day Shadow, or the Enlightening of Day Shadow. When he is rode upon by the Evening Shadow, you look at the top 7 cards of the deck, you choose 1 card with Hollow Valet, and its card name from among them, reveal it, add it to hand, and shuffle the deck. As you're going to know, most of the decks, or most of the cards in this deck are Hollow Valets. That's like, kind of like the minions of this deck. The next one is the grade 2, which was alluded to in the grade 1. Now, if this isn't a biblically accurate angel like representation in Vanguard, then I don't know what is. Like, this thing is a fucking, like, this is a trip, man. Anyways, what this one does is that when it's rode upon by a grade 3 Enlightening, or grade 3 unit with Enlightening in its name, look at the top 7 cards of the deck, choose up to 2 Hollow Valets from among them, and discard them, and then shuffle the deck. So these, it puts them into the drop. And then we have the grade 3, which is the Enlightening of Inception, like the movie. But it has 2 skills. The first is a Vanguard skill. Once per turn, bind a card from your soul face down. Look at the top 7 cards of the deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them. Reveal it to rear. If it is a unit card with Hollow Valet in its name, put it to hand if it's a Cradle of Hollow. And then shuffle the deck. At the end of the turn, choose up to 2 of your units with Hollow Valet in their card name and bind them face down. If you bound 2 cards, draw. Or bound 2 units, draw. So a lot of draw power, a lot of grave manipulation, so you can kind of see where this is going to go. So just going to move these guys up here, cut them out. But you know, if you thought that was his final form, then you're severely mistaken. We have 4 copies of the new main deck grade 4 Enlightening of Extirpation. This one actually has, it's the same name, it's Anlarcciæl, but the A and the E are kind of messed up, so that's cool. This fucker's got too much fucking text on him. I had to actually, because I make these proxies, I actually had to go on the program and like make the card text like thinner. But 4 skills. The first is just a reminder that it cannot be called or written. It can only be written on top of an Enlightening unit. It has another continuous during your turn. All of your front row units with Hollow Valet in their card name get 1,000 for each card in your bind zone face down. He's kind of like Blangmeyer Phantom in that regard. Act once per turn, bind a card from your soul face down. Look at the top 7 from the deck, choose up to 1 card among them, reveal it to rear if it's a unit card with Hollow Valet, and then add it to hand if it's a Cradle Hollow. And another act skill, counter +1, bind a grade 3 or greater card with Enlightening in this card name from your soul face down. Choose one of your opponent's vanguards or rear guards. Bind all the cards chosen or in the chosen rear face down, and then choose one of your opponent's vanguards and delete it. So delete is back in standard, which is really cool, but we're gonna see soon enough that it doesn't really matter. Then at the end of the turn, choose up to 4 units with Hollow Valet and their card name, bind them face down, draw a card for every 2. So there's no issues with drawing. Delete is back in standard. Is that scary? Not really. And the reason why it's not scary is when you're deleted, you lose your power, you lose your skill, like your effects, but that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure you keep everything else. So like Persona Ride, you keep, I'm pretty sure you still keep your name, you keep Twin Drive, you keep everything that is an identifier for the card, which I think is kind of stupid. I think you should just lose everything. Like a locked Vanguard should be like, oh yeah, this card is like, you have to deal with a turn with no Vanguard or something like that. And like you can't do it more than 2 times a turn. Or like you can't do it turn after turn. But pretty much what it means is most decks can search out their Persona Ride. So, you know, bing bong, it's my turn. Ride the same card that I have on the field face down. And I still activate Persona Ride, I get my skills back, and I win. We also have stride decks that are out now, so you know you could stride over the deleted unit. You do not get like a stride skill because you don't have that skill, but guess what? When you stride out, you go back to normal. So yeah, is it a major like? Is it like a major thing? Not really, but it's still cool that we have it regardless, and yeah, I welcome it. I like older stuff coming back into standard because we got a lot of new people that showed up into standard, and they don't know their roots. The next card, we run 4 copies of the Hollow Ballet de Imbre. So this guy, as you can see from the restand icon, is your restander. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with a lightning in this card name attacks, if your rear guard did not stand this battle phase, counterblast on restand, it gets 5k. Continuous, if you have a Vanguard with a lightning in its card name, this unit gets 5,000 power. When this card is bound by the ability of a lightning of an extirpation, the grade 4, if your damage zone has no face-up cards, you can countercharge 1. It's good because it's obviously your 4th attacker, and you have to run it. If you'll notice, this deck is very like closed off. Like you're not going to be running this. Spoiler alert: we're not running that many generics. We're running 1 generic, or we're running 5 generics, and I'm pretty sure you can tell which ones we're running. But in reality, we really don't need to run generics like at all. You really could just run this deck with like just the main deck stuff and you'll be fine. We have 4 copies of Cradle of Hollow. Pretty much what this card does is if you play this if you have a Vanguard with lightning in its card name, put this card into your soul and perform one of the following. If your Vanguard is grade 4, perform all of the following instead of 1. Choose a unit card with Hollow from your drop, call it to rear, and draw a card. Choose up to 2 unit cards with Hollow Ballet and their card name from your drop, put them at the bottom of the deck. This helps you prevent from decking out as well as lets you call from drop, which is not bad. Pretty much the grunts or like the runts of the litter do the same thing. Because we run a grade 4 and that's a good grade 3, Forbidal is like running 5 copies of these cards. So we run Forbidal as our Regalis piece. The next card that we have is 4 copies of Hollow Ballet Fonzel. What this card does is when it's placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with a lightning in its card name, counterblast 1, draw. And then when this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with a lightning in its card name, it gets 10k. So it's a 20k attacker, which is really nice. Early game draw is always nice as well. So that's really cool. Then we have 4 copies of Norgosh. Or Norgosh. Pretty much what this guy does is in the drop zone, if you have a Vanguard with a lightning in its card name, you can Energy Blast 2, call this to rear, and at the end of the turn you bind it face down. It has another rear guard skill when it attacks. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with a lightning in its card name, this unit gets 5k power, so it's a 50k attacker. And then when this card is bound by the ability of enlightening of extirpation of grade 4, if your damage zone has no face-up cards, you can countercharge. So it's, I don't know, like, it's cool because like now you have 2 ways of countercharging, but like, okay, so if these 2 are fucking bound, then I can only countercharge once. So like that to me is like, you couldn't do something else like energy charge since you cost energy to call from drop. And it's like, oh, they want you to limit how many cards you call from drop. It's like the order calls one from drop, and it costs 2 for each of the like units that get called from drop. So it's like, what are you really missing? Maybe Soul Charge or something? I don't know. This is one of the generics I run the Ace unit. Now, there's only 2 cards in the deck that use energy. It's the grade 2 and the grade 1, and they both cost 2. If you go second, you're already losing, but this could help you call out a board a lot faster. You really don't need this. You could honestly make this a 5th copy of Warrior Droid, which is a card that you can run in 16 copies. But I just figured I'd play this because it's also a 25k attacker if you have a full field, which you really should have a full field, and not only that, but it gives some of your units resist. But yeah, this is honestly, like, you really don't have to worry about this. If anything, you could probably run anything else that could get you more soul in the long run, but again, I just choose this one because even though I brought up the energy thing, like I said, it's only 4 energy. If you went, even if you go first, you still have what? You get all the way up to, by the time you're at grade 4, you should be at 9 energy. So you really should have plenty to go around for this, as well as the other 2, with 2 left over for another go around. But again, it's just a generic. We run 4 copies of Noir Droid. If you thought, hey, deja vu, yeah, it's literally the same art but like flipped, but it's still cool. So 3 skills. The skills are continuous. You can have up to 16 copies of this guy in the deck. I love when cards do that because it's like a bad player will see that and it's like, oh wait, wow, maybe I could run 16. But no, you're realistically not going to run 16. You could do it like me and run 4 of everything. If you have Vanguard with Enlightening in its card name, this unit gets 5k shield, so it's a 10k shield. Drop, if you have Vanguard with Enlightening in its card name, Energy Blast 2, call this, and at the end of the turn, bind face down. It ramps your bind. It's cool too because it also doesn't check how many are on the field as well. So like, you can ramp your bind zone a lot faster. So you know, something to think about. Same with the grade 2. The next generic I run, you really don't need to run this. I run 4 Sirgown because you have an order that you play. You draw a lot. I'll be honest, man. Filling this deck up, you really could just run 4 copies of this fucker because it's a 10k shield too. Yeah, this deck doesn't really need like generics, to be honest. Like, if we really look at it, we're running 5, and these are really not necessary. Like, yeah, you can run it for early game. It's a 13k booster, which is nice because I don't think anything in this deck gives boost. So like, you're kind of cooked when it comes to that. But aside from being a 13k booster, there's really not much that dog can provide you that the deck is already providing for itself. You have that early game advantage, but still. We run 4 regular PGs, like if you have 2 or more cards in hand, you have to, or if you have 1 or less, you don't have to pay a cost. I run 4 of that. I don't run the other one because obviously we're at grade 4, and I just don't see the appeal until we start to get more strides, which, I mean, spoiler alert, we have Altmail and Asha coming out, so maybe stride decks are going to be more popular. So maybe, and depending on how good the buddy fight stuff, I'm pretty sure the gauge zone also counts as a crest, so hey, maybe that becomes more relevant. For the triggers, we run the blue OT because honestly, if you're doing more than 2 drive checks a turn, I think blue OT is the go-to because not only can you pick shit up from your drop zone, it's also it's a 9th critical trigger. So yeah, we run the 1 blue OT. Fronts, you definitely want fronts instead of draws because then you'll deck out. 4 heals, and then a crit. It's a really cool looking deck. As far as it goes, I don't think the deck has much depth. It's really just bind, ramp your front row, and You know, there's no guard restricts. There's no pressure from rear guards or Vanguard. Like, it doesn't gain a critical. It doesn't, like... There's not much that the deck does, like, that's too interesting, in my opinion. But I think it looks raw as hell. I think it looks sick as fuck. So that's reason enough to, I think, run it. For a first wave of support, it's solid because it you know, you can play it. Like, you know, like you saw. I only ran 5 cards outside of the, well, technically 6 cards outside of the, you know, the staples that you need to run, like your 4 PGs, your 16 triggers. Outside of that, and then 4 copies of every other card in the, like, that we got from in archetype. Like, you have 6 cards left over, which you can fill up with a grade 1. But, you know, you also have the Regalis piece that you can choose to run, in which case it's Forbidal. So now, instead of, what's it called? Instead of having an extra 6 cards, now you have 5 cards, which you could, again, still just run the main deck cards. I want to see what more people do outside of this list. Like, obviously, this is a very cookie-cutter list. But I think the deck itself is kind of plain. It is, I'll be honest, it's kind of a downer. Not to say that, you know, I don't want to doom about the game, because obviously the game is doing great. We just had a really cool deck in Leonore. But it kind of sucks that this deck has the power that Leonore desperately wants. Like, if Leonore had an effect that gave units power based off how many cards you have bound, like, I truly do think, like, that deck would be way more talked about and have less scrutiny, aside from the fact that she's, like, got her 6th form. But yeah, this is the list. The next card, or the next deck, is going to be Odium, and then from there we truly are aimless, because I don't have anything else planned at that point. I didn't get some fight video. I got one fight video planned, which probably will be up before this video, so don't know why I'm announcing it here. And then hopefully I can get more fight videos out. I do want to get some fight videos on the channel. And then from there, I do have a couple video ideas that I want to run by, like Altmile and Asha prediction videos. Like, let's predict what is going to be in the Stride deck sets based off of the older deck sets that we've gotten, as well as making some out there predictions. And then a cool little video like that I want to do, like that's a bit more like custom. So yeah, these are pretty much the announcements. So yeah, you guys, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Have a great time doing it. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Bye.